Here we have a setup that's a bit rigid. We'd like to see a little flex in the knees, at least have the knees unlocked, the butt back a little bit so that he's bending more from the hips, which would be more in here than from up on the waist. Also, we'd like to see the spine closer to being on a 90-degree angle to the club shaft of the swing plane. Let's go ahead and watch this swing in slow motion. We'll do it at 8th speed. We'll stop it along the way as we see things happening. He's kind of ball locked here. You can see he's spending a lot of time over the golf ball before he decides to make the swing. Not bad. It's good. Notice here he's getting a little bit above the swing plane, and that's because the arms are moving much further than the shoulders are turning. Once again, we see a golfer who is trying to do a conventional swing but looking more like a single plane swing by lifting his arms, and his body's not responding. So what we want him to do is really work hard on taking the club back by turning the shoulders, especially the left shoulder, down and under his chin, which you can see he hasn't done here at all. He's actually pulling up and out of the swing as we advance it a little bit further. See his ears coming up above the swing plane, and he ends up with a very, very short backswing. He's not able to get any length at all in that backswing. And one of his issues is he seems to be lacking the distance that he once had. Part of that is the flexibility. We need to be able to get your hands up at least as high as this shoulder here. So if we can get him up that high, he's going to gain some distance. You can't get him up that high without rotating the other shoulder down below your chin, which accomplishes two things. It gets the trail shoulder higher and it gets the hands higher, so you end up with more speed. The other thing we'll notice is the club shaft is now no longer parallel to the swing plane. It's on this line here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's undo that one. Let's go ahead and put in another line so we can see where that club shaft, the power of that club shaft now. Goodness gracious, doing everything a little screwy here. The power of that club shaft is going to be down well inside. So if he's going to pull straight down on the handle, he's going to miss the ball to the inside a little bit and have to pop up and out. Well, let's undo that. Let's just watch what happens as we reroute the club back on the way down. Slow motion again. Again, over the top and through. Let's back that up a little bit just to the impact position. Okay, down. See how far off he's, if you look the gap between where his spine was and his spine now up through the ears. You can see several inches of lift. The back is almost straight up and down. He's absolutely had no hip rotation at all. The hips are still dead square to the target line, and he doesn't get the ball up in the air because he's catching it so low on the face of the club because he's lifting up. We've got to get him to feel like he's moving his whole body down and into the ground. We play golf on the earth and into the earth. We don't play it off the earth. The ball goes off the earth, but our bodies are meant to really dig into the ground and be loaded in and derive our power from the ground. Watch on to the finish now. Pulls up and out of the swing. Notice once again, the club shaft is nowhere near parallel. We've got the club shaft on this line, and it needs to be parallel here. So a little work has to be done on swinging that club on a parallel line to the swing plane. It doesn't have to be right exactly on the swing plane, but as long as it's parallel to it, we've got a path that is at least going to work. This path is kind of all over the place.